Vancouver, Canada, and enjoying one of the most beautiful cities in the world. But really we're here to listen to the stories, to find the stories that connect us all together. There's this incredible reality about human beings. Every human being is unique. Every human being is different. There are no two people on this planet that are the same. 6.7 billion people, and yet there's still the expression of creativity and uniqueness. It's what makes us human. So I've got the team from Los Angeles. We flew to Vancouver, and we began an exploration for the human spirit. So we got to interview the owner of the Canucks. I got to interview one of Canada's most successful developers. We interviewed young women who work in bars and in cafes, and we met some of the most interesting, fascinating, and insightful people we've ever known.
You know, here I am, quadriplegic, and became suicidal. It was a real ugly place.
When I was about 14, my best friend died. You know, as a result of that, I became very angry and bitter.
From my side, I could have been coming into a meeting with an ass. Like, I don't know.
We made a deal with about 50% of the team, and then a year later, we bought the other 50%.
In a sense, we began searching for the soul of the city, and I want to invite you to join us on this particular journey, Crave the documentary.
I'm going to give you a series of words. I just want you to say positive or negative based on just your emotional response. Okay? All right, Canada. Positive. I knew that was coming. All right, family. Positive. All right, so I'm going to give you some words where you say positive, negative.
Okay.
Okay. Religion.
Negative.
All right. Spirituality.
Positive.
Work.
It's a very positive experience for me.
Religion.
You know, I think organized religion, I lean towards negative.
Prayer. Positive. Jesus. Positive. Buddha. Positive. Allah. Positive. Organized religion.
Negative.
Okay. God.
Negative.
All right. Church.
Negative.
Spirituality.
Positive.
Church.
Negative.
All right. God.
Negative.
All right. Jesus.
Negative. Negative.
Fell asleep in the shadows again.
So we saw it over and over again. Spirituality, positive. Church, negative. Sometimes Jesus positive, sometimes Jesus negative. And what we found over and over again was that it wasn't something about Jesus that caused this negative reaction. It wasn't something Jesus did. It wasn't something Jesus said. Every time it was an encounter, an association, an experience with a person who is identified with Jesus. So what is going on? I've been to church, a lot of really good people there, a lot of wonderful people, a lot of beautiful people, a lot of people with sincere hearts and good intent and sincere motivation. And so there seems to be a disconnect between sincere people outside the church and sincere people inside the church. Is it possible we're simply using the wrong approach? Is it possible that we've simply been taught the wrong way of engaging people and helping open up their hearts and lives to the message of Jesus? I don't usually go here in the interview, but I just got to ask you because of the contrast. All right, when I've been talking to people about organized religion, church in Canada, I don't really get a very positive response. I get a fairly done that or been there, not going back kind of dynamic or experience from people. If you had to summarize what you hear from the church, would it be closer to everything is going to be all right, or everything is not going to be all right?
You know, I think religion is mismarketed, and I think that all the messages that keep coming out are to the converted. Instead of sending out messages to get people that are suspect and not sure,
I actually grew up in a Roman Catholic family, and you kind of see what religion does to people, and I just have negative thoughts from what I've seen, like how it's changed people and how people get all wrapped in religion when they should just be enjoying life.
So part of here you're saying is that people are really very open to spirituality. The problem is the church just keeps preaching to itself. They keep preaching to itself, and people are open to it, but then when they're force fed, you don't want it. So you just tend to back off, and I think there's just a lot of overselling going on. You know, during the Olympics, they handed out buttons saying sex is not a sport. Well, the people that wore them already believed that. Yeah, that's right. That's not a message you're not going to get somebody that's about to pick up a hooker going, well, this is right, sex isn't a sport. It's not.
Religion is, to me, and that maybe there's some good things in it, it's not for me. You know, not religion.
You know, it turns me on.
Yeah.
You know, it's, pressuring other people, like, this is the way, like, you should see it the way I see it too. And, nobody wants that.
Yeah, you see, I think that religion tells me I'm wrong for not signing up the way you're supposed to, as opposed to your way is right, but maybe we can add some more balance to it. It's mismarketing. It seems like for the last 1,000 years, the church has had one strategy for moving people into a relationship with Christ. It's been entirely based on intrinsic motivators, reward and punishment. Give your life to Jesus, you go to heaven, and of course you get to avoid hell. And somehow we've convinced ourselves that this is the biblical narrative, this is the way of Jesus, and you'd be hard-pressed to ever find that particular approach from Jesus himself, that there is a far better way, a more natural way, a more human way. In the same way that we have these basic physical needs, the need to eat and to drink and to breathe, eventually you get hungry and you go find food. Eventually you get thirsty and you go find some way to quench that thirst. Eventually, and very quickly, by the way, you start suffocating when you don't get the oxygen that you need, and you start gasping for air. And that determination to find what we need for physical survival, it's even deeper and more powerful when we begin to listen to the intrinsic narratives of the human soul. I remember when I went to college and decided to major in philosophy, and everyone was talking about the meaning of life, and we studied everyone from Aristotle and Plato and Socrates to Hume and Locke and Descartes, and it seemed that everyone had an opinion on what it meant to be human. Why were we here? What the meaning of life was? What was the purpose of our existence? But everyone is a philosopher. If you talk to anyone walking down the street, if you talk to the person who's never gone to school, the person who's gone to way too much school, everyone has an opinion on why we exist. And the reason for that is that we humans, we are meaning machines. We are designed to create meaning. And sometimes we take meaningless things and give them meaning. That's called superstition. Sometimes we take meaningful things and make them meaningless, and that is just called a mistake. But all around, whether it's the clothes we wear, the stories we tell, the books we read, the films we watch, the TV shows we keep running season after season after season, those narratives, those stories draw us in because they help us make sense of our lives. Graffiti is a perfect example of our need to tell our story, of our need to find our place in the human narrative, our need to give meaning to life. We